Alright, in this tutorial I am going to show you how to download fonts from the web and install them on your Mac. So the first thing you need to do is go to a website that you can download fonts like acidfonts.com or defont.com. These are great websites, tons and tons and tons of fonts for both Mac and PC. But in this case we're specifically looking for Mac. So I'm going to download, I've already downloaded Atlantic Cruise, and let's say we will also download another Stencil Army font. Let's see what they have to offer. So we will download none of these. I don't like any of them. All right, let's download a decorative font. So we'll download this, KG, a little swag, right? So we're going to download that by clicking the download button. You'll notice down here in my Chrome page, it shows that it was downloaded, and on most computers, unless you've changed your setting, Apple defaults the setting for when you download things, they end up in your downloads folder. So we've got Atlantic Cruise and KG, a little swag. Both of these fonts are zipped. You see that? ZIP. They're zipped files, which means they've been compressed. It's just like taking a bunch of your clothes and putting it into a suitcase. When you get to your location, you want to unpack that suitcase. So these are in their location. So now it's time to unpack the suitcase. So to unpack it or unzip it, you just double click it and the archive utility works, and there it is. Atlantic Cruise is unpacked. Once you see the folder, you can get rid of the zipped file. Let's do the same thing for KG, a little swag. Okay, that one's been unzipped, so we can delete that zipped file. So here we have both of these fonts. Now right now we've been downloaded, but they haven't been installed on the computer. Where you go to do that is the FontBook. So in your Spotlight search, you're just going to go up to the top and type in FontBook. Once you type it, hit enter, and it's going to start to bounce down here in your dock. Looks like a little gray book with an F on it. It will launch, and once it launches, the computer takes a couple seconds. Once it launches, you're going to want to have both the FontBook open and your downloads folder. So you'll be able to click and drag from here and put it in here. But before we do the click and drag, down in the bottom left corner of your FontBook, you can create a new collection, and you want to do this for all of your projects. So in this case, the most recent project we're working on is our snowboard design. And the reason we do this is because if I forget what 5 fonts I'm using for my design, I can go back into my FontBook, click my collection, and I'll see my list of fonts here. So if you notice, for my wedding invitations, these were all of the fonts that I wanted to use for the wedding. I did not use all of them. I only used this one, and this one. But I tried all of these. So it's rather than go through thousands and thousands and thousands of fonts in Photoshop every time I want to change one or I'm looking for the name, I can just come back here and find out which ones were in my list. So to add a font or install a font into my FontBook, I come over here, and the only file I need is this one that says TTF. That's a true type font, TTF. Just take that TTF file, drag it over into your second column, and let the computer do its thing. It's going to install, and it pops up there. Right? So KG, a little swag, it is now installed in my computer. Now I can get rid of that whole folder, KG, a little swag. You don't need that anymore. Same thing with my Atlantic Cruise. I'm going to take my TTF file, drag it over here, let the computer do its thing, and there we go. Now it's in there. Now I can get rid of the Atlantic Cruise folder in my downloads folder. Now if I were to go to, say, Adobe Illustrator, if my computer isn't mad at me. All right, so if I go to Adobe Illustrator and type something like my name, Okay, I can go back in here. What was the name of it? Atlantic Cruise. Highlight my text. Atlantic Cruise, and there we go. There's my font I just installed. And if I want to change it to the other one, which is KG a little swag, I can do KG a little swag. There it is. There's my font. Change the color, do all kinds of things to it. Great. So that's how you install fonts on a Mac using FontBook.